Hi there crew members, it's a beautiful sunny morning here, and the reason that I'm starting out here is I come here every day and I just want you to see what I see every time I come in. So just arrived at the studio and just coming into this very nice open sunny space, and basically this is what I see every time I come in. The USS Enterprise right there. So this is just a quick video because I've got a little bit of information for you. Little touchdown. There we go. So I'm just going to talk to you from here behind this so you can get a good view of the ship in all its developing majesty, because the ship is the important thing and not me, okay? But I've decided to try some like a new strategy, because you know I come in here every day, so this project is a daily thing for me. And of course, you know, I've been uploading videos like once every 2 weeks, sometimes only once a month, and I kind of thought to myself, you know, if I was an observer of that and I was only getting to, you know, see this fantasy unfolding once a month, it might be, it might be quite a long thing to do. Whereas I get this whole thing every day. So I've decided to change the strategy a little bit with my channel and just see how it goes. So, you know, let me know what you think in the comments section about this. I've decided to do some very regular videos, like I'm not going to set it in stone, because every time I do that it puts pressure on me, but what I'm going to try to do is, you know, maybe do two posts a week, but short posts, you know, like 4 minutes even, 5 minutes, so it's absolutely no drain on me whatsoever to start doing, you know, like long videos, and then seriously like 5, 6, 7 hours at the table editing, making thumbnails. So you might notice that the thumbnail on this video is, you know, it's not produced, it's just a shot of this, and that's all it is. So basically what I want to do is involve you more, the audience, the followers, the subscribers, the patrons, you know, I want to involve you more in this, and maybe get a feel of how things are for me on a very regular basis. So literally, this video is going to go on for a little bit longer than 5 minutes, because I'm actually explaining what is going on. But from here on in, I'm just going to do very raw videos with absolute minimal editing, almost literally just posting it as I'm doing it. Okay, so that's that. Like I say, let me know what you think about that. And oh, look at this absolute glorious sunlight coming in through the window. Anyway, I've put the saucer section on, very, very loosely saucer section. I'm just going to give you a quick guide on that, because I want to show you the absolute insane difference between 1/100th scale and 1/25th scale. So what you're seeing in front of you now is the 1/100th scale with a kind of a makeshift saucer on it. So again, this secondary hull that you can see here and the development of the warp engines, this is actually finished stuff. So I'm doing this as a finished piece. But at the moment, the saucer section is just for alignment, so that I can get the warp engines aligned with the saucer correctly. And then this will come off, and then I'll start creating a finished saucer, which is, you know, I can't wait for that. That's just going to be amazing. Anyway, so a few comments have come in recently, and like I say, 99.5 of the comments are just like, whoa, uplifting, high engine stuff. But a few comments have come in that are saying, and these are not bad comments, it's fair comments, that, you know, why are you wasting your time on a 1/100th scale model? Why don't you just go to the massive 1/25th scale model? Okay, and that's a good question. You know, I welcome that. And the reason is that already, as I'm building this, there are a few seriously good reasons for this. 1/100 scale model. The first one is, as I'm building it, you know, this is the entire ship now coming together. I can feel where the rooms are relating towards each other, where the turbo lifts will go, all that kind of stuff. So they are not separate, isolated models. Already I've realised here that this pool section, the big full-scale pool, will not be going on deck 19. I'm going to lower that down to closer to the bottom of the secondary hull so that deck 19 can become like a medical bay where maybe injured, I said this in the last video, where maybe injured crew members coming in on a shuttlecraft can be taken directly into the medical complex without using turbo lifts and all that kind of thing. Anyway, so that's one thing that has developed, and just getting the feel for how the pylons fit on and the nacelles go on and all that kind of thing is really, really important for me as the builder to be able to feel where this is all going before I go to the massive scale. Okay. The second reason is that, and this is a question that comes in very often actually, is where can we see this enormous USS Enterprise? Where can we come and see it? Where is it going to be displayed? Is it going to go on tour around? And the answer to that is the big one, the 1/125th scale, the 40-foot model, is not going to be going on tour anywhere. It's going to be in a fixed position, and if people want to see that, they're going to have to travel. Okay. However, and the reason for that is that the logistics behind touring a 40-foot Starship Enterprise around and, you know, taking it apart, assembling it, is ridiculous, really. The effort that would go into that is ridiculous. So that is going to be a fixed model. However, this 1/100 scale model, as you can see, it's still huge, still big, still impressive, but this can go on tour. So I'm building it so that the nacelles can be taken off. I'm building it so that we can actually have saucer separation, so the saucer can be taken off, and then the logistics of that make it very, very doable to take this on tour as kind of an advertisement and just something where people can see the smaller version of the ship, which is to me it's just pure magic. It really is. So that's the answer to that question. So, you know, I can go to Star Trek conventions, science fiction conventions, all other kinds of conventions, cosplay stuff, and bring this with me with some of the isolated sets and just display it that way. So that's the reason for this 1/100. Let me just show you now. I'm just going to give you, because the saucer wasn't shown in the last video, and to me, you know, the dorsal section, the secondary hull, the warp engines, it all looks great, but really it's only until the saucer section goes on that we actually see the Enterprise. Okay, so let me now just go a handheld video, and I'll just give you a very quick tour and demonstration of the saucer section and a little bit of the ship again. Alright, some people say that the original Starship Enterprise was not big enough to go out into deep space for 5 years. I'm going to change your mind about that right now. So I'm going to start at a distance from the ship and then just move in slowly, so it's almost a little bit like the classic beauty pass that we saw in the motion picture, or when the ship was pulling out of dry dock, the refit ship. I'm just going to come up here because I've done like a temporary setup just purely for scale, so that you can see here the outer rim of deck 6 and deck 7 with some characters sat there, and there he is. We're going right close in to these guys having a conversation, and he is sat at one of the classic crew quarter tables, and on there you can see the small monitor and even a few books on the shelf. As we come around, oops, I've had a bit of a catastrophe there, one of those things where all the tables go all over the place. I'll just set that right. Must have hit some space turbulence or something, and he's on the floor. But no worries, because Dr. McCoy is already on his way. Anyway, so there's a food replicator. And like I say, I've just randomly placed this, so this is not going to be the design ultimately. I've just placed these figures and characters and computers in place so you can get a feel for the scale. Because again, if I pull out, you can just see the absolute size of the ship. It's absolutely enormous. Just come around to here. There's a single character just stood on deck 7, the outer part of deck 7. And coming around again, there's another one. Okay, so now let me show you. I'm going to show you the difference. I mean, you already know that 1/25th scale is huge compared to this 1/100th scale. So I'm just going to clearly demonstrate that by going in to the 1/100th scale main engineering here that we're familiar with. We've all seen this on the TV show, so we're familiar with that. That's how it fits into the model. There's the all the whatever it is carrying energy into the pylons and up to the warp engines. Okay, but anyway, check this out, because I've got the 1/25th scale main engineering right next to this. So if I just bring the camera around here, you can see the 1/25th scale model coming into view now. Okay, so you will have seen this in previous videos if you've been watching the channel, if you've been following the channel. So there is so we're now down on the 1/25th scale, and actually the engines are not on at the moment, so I'm just going to put them on because you have to see this in its glory. Okay, there we go. Mr. Scott has now engaged the warp drive, the engines, and you can see there that we have power in the power chamber. And it's actually amazing that you can see this, because the sunlight coming in through the window is really bright. I actually needed to film this really when it's a bit darker so you can get the full, because the whole of the chamber lights up red, glowing. Anyway, again, I'll just pull back from this 1/25th scale and again just go back into the 1/100th scale right here, which is integrated into the ship. One final demonstration of the scale before I finish this video is, so there is the nacelle, the front of the nacelle, the front of the warp engine, and I've placed a 1/100th scale figure on top. So now let me show you the difference between the 1/100th scale warp engine and the 1/25th scale warp engine. So now I'm going to lift up the 1/25th scale warp engine and place it right next to the 1/100th scale, and you can see on this version here that I've also placed a 1/25th scale crew member on top of this one. So that's exactly the same, a direct translation from 1/100th scale on your left as you're watching this, and 1/25th scale on your right as you're watching this. So you can just imagine the size of the big version, the 1/25th scale. Okay, so it's Tuesday today, and I'm going to just upload this as a video tonight with almost no editing, a tiny little bit. But as I say, all the videos from here are just going to be like short 4-minute, 3-minute, 4-minute videos with almost no editing and just very basic thumbnails, because I just want to include you more on the regular process of this build. So small but very frequent updates on the thing as it's being built. maybe one or two longer videos within the month. Okay. As always, I hope this video finds you well. You can support this project, this mission on Patreon. The link is in the description. And yeah, have a wonderful day and bye for now. See you very soon.